Over the past decade, firms have been working to make cryptocurrency investing simpler and more accessible. Boston Trading was among one of the early players in launching diversified crypto portfolios. And more recently, the company has explored faith-based and ethical crypto funds designed to align investing with cultural and religious values. For more, I'm joined by Jeremy Britton from Boston Trading. Thank you for joining us, Jeremy. So, in the early days, many investors dismissed cryptocurrency as speculative. What convinced you there was a genuine long-term opportunity in digital assets?
I've been in the stock market for over 30 years, and there's speculative stocks, like technology stocks and mining stocks are often described as speculative as well. The one thing that convinced me very early on was using Bitcoin to make payments, because sending money through the banking rails can cost you $50, $70, up to 5%, depending on how much you're sending. And I could send $10,000 worth of Bitcoin for the price of 50 cents. And that's when I decided this thing's actually got a future. And then Ethereum came out the next year and people could start building smart contracts and technology on top of things that they could send and pay at the same time. So it was a very exciting technology. And over the last 15 years, it's grown significantly more advanced. But yeah, 10 or 11 years ago, we looked at this and went, this has probably got a future. It saves time and it saves money, so it's going to be valuable.
Yeah, and of course then we've seen significant institutional interest in digital assets. So how did you make crypto investing simpler for the average consumer?
My background, again, many years in the stock market, and most people don't understand the stock market, which is why a lot of people have an off-the-shelf super like a Host Plus or a Hester or a Sun Super or something like that. They give their money to someone else to look after it and say, okay, you take care of it, you watch it all day, every day while I'm at work. And when the new technology started coming out, and particularly with Ethereum, when people started building lots of different coins, of course there's meme coins and there's utility coins and things like that, I looked at this and went, this is like a little tiny stock market. And I can understand it because that's what I do for a living, but most people can't. So we created the world's first crypto mutual fund. We actually chose the investments and managed the investments for other people. We've been doing that for the last 10 or 11 years, very successfully. And just in the last 12 or 18 months is where we've started to look at how else can we include more people and make this more accessible for more people in the world.
And what were the key misconceptions in the industry when you started?
Oh man, the misconceptions was that cryptocurrency was used by drug dealers and perverts and criminals and things like that. And so, well, yeah, most of the criminals on the TV used US dollar for that. They used cash. And the early days of the internet, they said it was used by drug dealers and criminals and sex perverts and things like that. So any significantly new technology is going to be scary. And it takes a while to build the trust in that technology. There's many people who refused to go on the internet in the 90s because they thought they were going to get a virus and wipe their computer and steal all their photos and things like that. But over time, we have more and more established companies who come out and say, hey, I'm going to help you. I'm going to make it transparent. I'm going to look after you, and bringing that trust to people. So the technology comes first. Then good companies start to build trust in the community. And then finally, we have the inclusion coming along, which is what we're really aiming at today.
Yeah, so why did you decide to launch a faith-based crypto funds? Was it a reputation factor?
We'd been running these funds, like we've got a low risk fund, a medium risk fund and a high risk fund, and thought that's going to suit everybody, depending on whether you're investing for 7 years or whether you're investing for 1 year. And we had a phone call from a couple of Muslim gentlemen, and they said, hey, we want to invest in crypto because all of our non-Muslim friends are investing in crypto and making a lot of money. But our religious leader has told us that it's forbidden. And we went, it's not really gambling if you know what you're doing, if you know what you're investing into. So we looked into it. And there's stock screening software. So for Muslim investors, they can't make money off of interest, so they can't invest in normal banks and things like that. And there's other prohibitions within different religions, whether you're Jewish, whether you're Muslim, whether you're a Hindu, there's certain things you can and can't invest into. And when we started looking at this, we went like, there's 2.8 billion Muslims on the planet who have been told they can't invest in crypto because it's forbidden, but there's only a little part of it that's forbidden, which is the gambling and things like that, and the interest. We can actually help these guys by removing the barriers to entry and saying, yes, we can do this, because again, there's stock screening tools where you can screen out the non-ethical mining companies or the non-ethical animal experimenting companies and things like that. So if we can do it for stocks, why can't we do it for crypto and create funds that are halal and kosher and dharmic?
Yeah, absolutely. And what do you see as the future direction of digital finance in the next maybe 5 years?
I think it's, again, in the olden days when you first went onto the internet, you had to plug the modem in, you had to click the button and dial up and that sort of stuff. You really knew you were using the internet. And then we fast forward a few years later and everyone's just got their smartphone in their pocket. You call it an Uber or you call something or you order a pizza. You're not aware that you're using the internet. And I think that's the future, is when you're not aware that you're actually using cryptocurrency. You're not aware you're using blockchain technology. It's just happening in the background. If you want to transfer some money to your friend or to your relatives, you can do it quickly and easily. You can do it at 3 o'clock in the morning. There's no 3-day delay like there is in the banks. There's no high charges, no currency conversion fees. And also investing. Some companies are starting to put stocks on the blockchain, because traditionally you can only buy stocks between 9 o'clock in the morning and 4 o'clock in the afternoon when the stock market's closed, on Saturdays and Sundays. But now they're putting stocks on the blockchain, so you can actually buy even Apple stocks and Tesla stocks at midnight on a Sunday, which you could never do previously. Technology is just going to become more ubiquitous to the point where you don't even realise you're using the technology, you're just doing it.
Yeah, and just before we go, how can people find out a little bit more?
Just Google Boston Trading, get in there. We provide a lot of education for people who want to learn. We provide books, we provide video courses and things like that. If you want to learn how to invest safely and simply into crypto, we can teach you how to do that. If you don't have time to do that, then of course us or some other company can do it for you.
That was Jeremy Britton. Thank you for joining us on Ticker.
Most welcome. Thank you.